Hey guys, Popbacker here today. Thank you for that amazing intro, and I just want to say guys, I think I finally decided what kind of Call of Duty videos I want to make. Now the video 2 days ago was kind of a little bit of a fail, but that's sort of the guidelines I think I want to go. So if you guys can bear with me just for a few videos, I think I can tweak this and actually make this a really feasible idea. Okay guys, so now the type of videos that I decided I want to make is, do you guys remember those old RuneScape videos where it was like, okay guys, now today we're going to do some solo RuneScape bandos, and I'm going to teach you guys the setup, these are the requirements, and then this is the class setup I recommend that you guys have. You guys need to have these as like attachments, levels, strength. This is me, your guys' inventory. And then I'm going to spend like the next 5 minutes showing you guys actually where to go, what to kill, and then I'm going to like talk about it and stuff like that. And then at the end I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tell you guys some of the drops and like what we did good and what we did bad and stuff. You remember those videos, guys? When we were like 12 years old, we used to like all watch those videos. I'm pretty sure most of you guys used to, or at least, oh yeah, most of you guys are like 12 years old now, so you guys probably won't remember this. But like, these are the types of videos that I want to try to make, but I'm going to center them towards like Call of Duty stuff. So now what I'm going to do for this video, guys, I am going to probably spend about like 5 minutes, no, not 5 minutes, I'm going to spend like 2 minutes talking about a class setup, and I'm going to show you guys exactly like what I think you should have, and I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to do some gameplay, and I'm going to commentate over the gameplay, telling you guys what is good, what is bad, what you guys should do. I'm going to teach you guys how to become amazing Call of Duty professional, like gamer, Call of Duty World League level players and stuff like that. And I'm going to try to add my little commentating. And then if you guys continue to watch all the way through the end of this video, I'm going to tell you guys what we did, and I'm going to talk about the setup and talk about why we did so good or why we did so bad. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what class setup to use, and then I'm going to do one game playing online. Hopefully I don't do absolutely terrible. And then right after that, I'm going to talk about it and talk about like what I did right and what I did wrong and stuff like that. And then after the clip is all the way completed, hopefully you guys stay that far throughout the entire video, I'm going to show you guys a little scoreboard and show you guys like what spots to avoid, what spots to hit hard. So for today's video, guys, I will be showing you guys an epic NV4 stomping medium range class. Now this class is absolutely perfect for new players or players who just want to play at a little bit of a distance safely. And this is going to be for Holiday Genesis 24/7. Now you can use this class for any map, but this is just what I've been stomping with lately. So for today's class, I'm going to show you guys how to make it, and I'm going to show you guys exactly the class setup I have here and how I absolutely stomped this game. Now this is my first game recording, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you guys the class setup, and I'm going to show you guys how well I stomped. Okay guys, so I'm going to start off by telling you guys the class setup for this build. Now this build does use the NV4, so it is one of the very first guns that you will unlock, and this class will be very easy for just about anyone to make. Now the main thing for this build is using the NV4 with a foregrip, suppressor, and laser sight. Now these are all fairly low level attachments, so you should get them pretty fast, and the laser sight isn't 100% required, but it is very recommended to have the laser sight. Now for those of you guys who want to know what gun I'm using, I am using the NV4 Exiled. Now I do prefer this over the Vigilance just because it does have stockpile. Stockpile will increase your ammo, and that is very helpful. Whereas sensor isn't really the biggest thing, and I mean readiness is pretty good, but you don't really need readiness that much just because you are already using dexterity. Now for the perks I recommend for this is dexterity, ghost, and gung-ho. So if you don't have any of these yet, these are pretty hard to get just because you do have to be a certain level. I'm not sure what the exact level is, but I'm only level 39 and I have them all unlocked, so they should be fairly low. Most of you guys should already be level 39. Now gung-ho is the first thing you unlock, so just go ahead, add on gung-ho. And then I do recommend using at least one cluster grenade. You can use two if you do have the available. If you don't use laser sight, or if you don't have ghost or dexterity unlocked, you can go ahead and run two, but one should be enough just for main purposes. Now I use Warfighter along with Claw, which Claw is the first thing you unlock, so you guys all should have Claw ready. And Claw helps stack those kills. If you need to go and clear out a building or something like that, just pre-fire with Claw and you will get so many kills. Now, not all of you guys will necessarily have resupply yet, but I do really recommend using resupply just because you can pick up those extra cluster grenades, and you can pretty much pre-throw cluster grenades into rooms just to clear them out, or just to make a little bit of cover and then rush in and go for those kills. Now for the score streaks, I recommend using is UAV, Vulture, Warden. These are very, very good score streaks to use if you want to stack up even more kills. Now, if you guys aren't necessarily quite as good, you can go ahead, take off Warden, and put on Counter UAV, just so that we can stack up XP really, really fast. I don't recommend using Drone Packets, Scorchers, and Bombardment, just because you have to wait for them. That's an XP waste. You could be running around getting kills. But if you guys do want to, you can go ahead, you can take off UAV, you can use Vulture, Stock Sentry, Warden, just because they do help add in kills. Or you guys, if you're feeling lucky, you can go ahead add in the AP3X. But I recommend using UAV, Vulture, Warden. That's just what I use. It helps stack in kills. I don't always necessarily get to the Warden every game, but I do get at least a few UAVs, and then that ends up adding up to the Vulture. So those are my recommended score streaks. So now let's go ahead, let's get into some gameplay. Okay guys, now I don't want to get like too much into this, but I absolutely stomped my first game online with this class. Now I just made this class like 5 minutes ago, and I'd spent a couple minutes recording it and sharing it for you guys, and I absolutely wrecked this game. Now I'll show you guys exactly what I recommend doing with some live commentary throughout the entire video. Now I'm going to play the video straight through, I'm not going to pause it at all, and I'm going to tell you guys live what I did the entire time. Okay guys, now if you guys want to rush straight up the middle, you can, but you probably are going to get a first death. But, I mean, if you want to go for a quick kill or two, you can do that. I recommend running down through the side and trying to pick off a couple far kills from this distance, just because you are using an NV4 and you can pick off these kills very easily. The NV4, especially with the grip, can be used at a far distance and you can easily pick off a kill. The best spot I recommend doing is running this bottom half of the map, just because you are at a lower distance. You will have a little bit of a distance between you and the enemy, and this will help a lot with getting a couple free kills. Because enemies don't generally rush this area, generally the enemies will stay up towards the top. Now you can head glitch and pick off a few kills right here, but I don't recommend camping for too long of a time just because it does get boring. But there are a bunch of enemies right in this building, and I know they're all about to run out, so I'm going to go ahead and stand right here for a second. Now, I don't generally camp too much just because it does waste time and you don't get those a couple extra kills you could be getting if you were running around. But if you guys are close to a score streak, I kind of understand it, and it's not really that big of a deal. Now, I wouldn't camp an area like inside of the building just because they can rush you really hard and you will more than likely die. But if you camp this outer area, you can pick off a couple kills as they come running out, especially since they're stuck back there. Also, another thing I want to tell you guys, as I did right there, if you know an enemy's about to come out of an area, pre-fire as hard as you can, and then if you don't end up killing them and then they end up retreating back, move to a different area, because if you're standing in the same exact spot as where they just seen you, they're more than likely going to rush out and kill you just because they already know where you are, and it's not really going to be too helpful just to stand there. Alright, so another thing you should really try to do whenever you're killing enemies is try to get behind them and shoot forward, because if you're behind them, they pretty much don't even have a chance to kill you. As you can see here, I picked him off from the side. He didn't even have a chance to fire on me. One thing about this class, if you guys don't have, if you guys have an extra space you can use and you're not using anything else, you can use Scavenger and it will be very helpful. Just because Scavenger, you can pick up extra ammo for your main gun, but I do pick up other people's guns a lot and use them, so it's not really that big of a deal. You will find guns all over the ground to pick up. But if you guys just absolutely hate using other guns, I recommend using Scavenger. But it is a good thing to get well-rounded and use a bunch of different guns and get used to everything. And as you can see here, I got my first Vulture very, very fast. My KD is already decently high. Now, I don't pull up the scoreboard at all until the end, I don't think, so you guys will have to wait to see my exact KD. Now, one problem I normally make when I do get a kill streak is I rush too hard and I go for kills too much and I end up dying like this. That's the one thing I hate, because if I didn't rush that hard right there, I probably could have got the Warden and it would have been easy. Now, something I do to clear out this room is whenever I get my payload, I always rush and just immediately pre-fire just about every corner just to go for those quick kills, so that way they don't even have a chance. Now you can see I picked up that kill pretty fast, and then right here I got an epic double, I think I got a double kill right here. I'm about to get another one right here, yep. Whenever you run around that corner, I always jump up on the top just because there's usually an enemy coming out right as you're running over. And now right here, this is another reason why I absolutely love having the grip. It's just because you can pick off those kills from a far distance. There's almost no recoil at all. But every time I do get a vulture, I generally rush too hard and I end up dying. I think I die right here, but I might get a couple more kills. Yep, I rushed that building way too hard. Especially when you're using an NV4, try to keep the enemies at a distance. Don't rush too hard because you will end up dying. Right here, a little too close, there were enemies behind me. The best thing I can say about that is try to never get enemies behind you. Always keep track of where your teammates are and where they're standing and where they're dying at. Because if you know where your teammates are, then you more than likely know where your enemies are. And that's an amazing thing if you know where your enemies are. Another thing you guys want to try to learn is learn where the spawn points are compared to where your teammates are, because the enemies will generally always spawn away from the teammates. Now there are the occasional time where enemies will spawn on teammates, and it does get very annoying, but if you know where your teammates are, you know where the enemies are spawning. And watch out because the map flips a lot. As all the players rush from one side of the map to the other side of the map, the enemies will start spawning behind you, and then they can trip you up and they can kill you. That's why I recommend running the bottom corner or the bottom half of the map, is just because it's hard for them to get behind you, because you can keep turning around, run from one side to the other side, then turn around and run from that side back to the other side. But as you can see here, enemies get too close and you end up dying, but you can pick them off from a distance decently well with this gun. Then as you can see here, if you try to head glitch as much as you possibly can, anticipate when the enemies are going to run out and you can pick off those kills. And the easiest way to kill enemies is when they're behind you. If an enemy is right in front of you, there's a high chance that they're going to end up winning the gunfight. But if you can keep the enemies in front of you and to their backs, you can kill them very easily and they won't even have a chance. And as you can see here, I think I killed this guy. Yep, I killed him, kept him at a distance, sprayed right into him, and then right here, got a nice kill, and then I think I pulled it up with a double kill. Maybe not. I thought I got a double kill there. No, maybe not. Always use your payload whenever you can, just because then it makes it that much faster to get it again. Because your payload pretty much guarantees you at least 1 to 2 kills, but I don't always get kills with it. Like as you can see here, I think I wasted most of it. Oh, nope, right here, got the final kill. Alright guys, now that pretty much sums it up for my first game. This is a very good class setup, and if you guys follow exactly what I did, you guys should be on your way to getting very, very good kill streaks. Now, this isn't necessarily the best class every single game depending on your enemies, but if you guys try this class, I guarantee you after a couple games you'll get used to it, and you should get decent KDs with this gun. Alright guys, now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you guys exactly what happened. Okay guys, now this is my performance record. As you can see, I went 24-6, got exactly a 4.0 KD, which is pretty awesome for my first game with this class setup. Now, I do use the NV4 a lot, and I do notice it is a very good gun if you keep the enemies at a distance. Now, as you can see, all the places where I died, I also got kills. So if you guys can try to keep those kills way above your deaths, dying's not that big of a deal when it comes to score streaks. Now, if you guys are going for a really good KD, what I recommend trying to do is try to stay at the top half of the map. And if you stay at the top half of the map, you should be able to run back and forth enough to where you can keep the enemies in front of you and you can keep their backs towards you. You can pick off enemies without them even shooting at you. Now that's the best thing I found to do, was try to stay behind the enemies and push them from behind, and you can pick off 2, 3, maybe 4 kills and then rush the other side of the map really fast because they will start to respawn. And as you guys can see, most of the places I died is because I was straight face to face with an enemy and then they ended up killing me faster than I could kill them. The NV4 isn't the best class in terms of slide spraying, but as long as you can keep them at a distance, scope down the site, you can pretty much pick off enemies before they can shoot at you. Okay guys, now this pretty much sums up most of my video. I apologize if it was terrible. Thank you if you think it was good, but this is the kind of videos that I'm going to be trying to make on this channel. I don't know exactly like what changes are going to come, but this is the type of video I'm going to try to make just because this is something I can try to do, and it wasn't terrible in my opinion. In my opinion, this video isn't terrible. I mean, it's not the best video, but I put lots of effort into it. So if you guys have any comments at all about this video, please go ahead and let me know down in the comment section. This isn't like exactly what my channel is going to be. I'm going to try to make it a little bit better each time I do it, but I'm going to try to make a couple videos along these lines. So please guys, if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button, leave a comment down in the description, and let me know what you think. And for those of you guys who are new, which probably none of you guys who watch this video are new to my channel, but if you guys are, please go ahead, subscribe, give me a like, thumbs up, and as always guys, have a great day and thank you for watching.